All right. Welcome back and good morrow, friends. My name is Jess, and I am your witchy best friend. And I'm here again to discuss how to read playing cards. This is something I've been doing for a very long time. This has been my go-to for card readings forever. I think I might actually do an in-depth walkthrough of the book that I've got all of this from. If you'd like, just comment below and let me know, and I can definitely show you the book because it has so many other different great methods for fortune telling. But let's get started with today. So today we're going to discuss client cards, and then I'm going to give you, as best as I can, a walkthrough of how to read the cards. All right, so client cards. Client cards are important because without them, you can't do the reading. So a lot of times, the way we fan out our cards and where we start is we're going to start with our client card. These are suggestions. This is not something you absolutely have to do. I've actually made changes from what the book had told me. I find that it kind of works no matter what. It works some way. But to do this, let's kind of break this down. So the client card represents the person you're reading for, whether it be yourself or obviously the client. And so there's some archetypes here. When we have the diamonds, we use the king, the queen, or the sevens of all four suits. So the king is obviously male energy, female energy, and then the seven is universal. It can be anybody. Or if you have somebody who doesn't have a gender identity, we use the seven to represent them too. Somebody that doesn't identify as male or female. I always go with however the person identifies. And then it's kind of based on if they're fair-haired or dark-haired. So fair hair would be blonde, light hair, red hair, gray. Dark hair would be like brown. You use your best judgment, of course. It's not like in stone that this is the definite and true way to do it. But I mean, it's a good place to start. And I find that having a client card is the best way to do the readings because it gives you the start of the story. You're starting with that person and you're going around. So the diamonds typically represent somebody that's fair-haired and older. The clubs represent somebody that's dark-haired and younger. The hearts represent somebody that is fair-haired and younger. And then the spades are somebody that is dark-haired and older. The older or younger, that is absolutely up to you. I personally have found that when I'm picking out my client card, that if they're older and I only pull hearts, I only pull like the queen or the seven of hearts for that person, then that's what I go with. If I didn't have that queen or seven of diamonds, I would still do the reading because I had one of these two, even though they represent somebody who's younger. The age thing I just don't go with, but that's the instructions in the book, and that's how you feel. By all means, do it. But over the years, I found that's not a tried and true method. So now that we've discussed the client cards, I'm going to take my cards. I'm going to shuffle a little bit. And what we're going to do is just do a mock reading. And as I'm shuffling, I'm going to explain to you how we work this. So I usually let the client shuffle the cards because I want them to put their energy into their cards. And then as they shuffle, I want them to think of their question, think of their problem, their trouble, their worries. And then, sorry, I'm not a fancy shuffler. I have really bad carpal tunnel, and this is what you get. And just as I'm shuffling here and this thought, the way I've seen people shuffle, the way I've seen people take out their cards, has been so fascinating over the years. Because when we do this, we have them shuffle the 32 cards. And then I ask always for them to hand me back 18 cards in whatever order they feel fit. So they may pick 18 cards, shuffle them, and hand them back to me. may just cut them, whatever. And everybody does it a different way. And I always have to reiterate that you can't look at the cards and pick out your 18 cards like this. Like, oh, I want this one, that one. I had a girl do that once. And so that is just something I tell everybody now, because it doesn't work that way. And then I also tell everybody too that no matter what you do with the cards, no matter what 18 cards you pick out and how you shuffle them, the cards are going to tell me what the cards need to tell me. They're going to say what they need to say. So these around so we get some reversals. All right, I think that's good. And I think just for the fun of it, we'll pick 18 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so I've chosen 18 cards. Cut, shuffle, however, and then the person hands them back to you. We're going to take the first 13 cards and lay them out. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think maybe if I put them like this, it'll be a little bit easier. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Squeeze these in a little bit tighter. 13. Okay, we see everything. Perfect. All right. And then we take our remaining 5 cards. And these are down here at the bottom. And then I'll explain to you how to read these. So, for fun's sake, I have a fair-haired person. I don't have a 7, a queen, or a king, depending on the gender, in a red suit. So I'd unfortunately be like, look, I can't read your cards. But for the sake of this little this experiment, we'll start. And then this is why the client card is important, because the client card is where you start. This is the beginning of your story. Now, when you pick the client card, that arcana doesn't necessarily represent that person. This is just your starting point. This is not part of your story. This is who your story is about. All right. And then you take this card and you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oof, we start off bad news and disappointments. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unrequited love. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Minor worries and troubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Luck, luxury, prosperity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Love, journey, and affair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grief, confinement, long journey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unexpected money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we get back to the main person. And this just kind of tells us a story. This kind of just puts, it's kind of like the past and the present all together. This just tells us, okay, so we've got some bad news coming. We've got unexpected money. And sometimes that unexpected money could be the bad news. Somebody could pass away. Somebody could, along those lines. It's about weaving the story. I'll usually go through this count 3 or 4 times to kind of get that picture of this main story here and figure out what is going on. And then I move down to these cards here. So this is your past and your present. This is the storyboard of what's going on. This is the outcome of what's going on. And so you read these 2 cards together. We have an affectionate person and a deceitful person working. We have teasing, criticism, a small gift, a widow or divorced person, and we have quarrels, sorrows, and desperation. That would be your final card. So these, if you think about like when you read the Celtic Cross, like these are the outside factors working against you. These are the inside factors working against you, and then this is your final outcome. This is where everything ties together, where you put your story, and it'll take me a few minutes. It'll take me a little bit here because I will go through and count the cards. I will go through and sit and look and read. And like when you read tarot cards, like when you read oracle cards, these don't necessarily have that picture, but you get that, like those keywords, and you get that symbology, and then you could kind of work out a story of how all of it plays together for this reading, for this person. And once you start doing it more and more, things kind of flow. You see patterns and you see how things go together. In my next video, I'm going to actually kind of explain how cards work together, because there's a big whole thing. Sometimes I go by it, sometimes I don't, but it's a little bit like if you have 2 9s together, or if you've got the 10 of clubs and the 9 of hearts together, it means it could mean certain things. And if you don't want to complicate yourself with this, you don't necessarily need to know all of those meanings. You don't need to know how these cards work together, but it's handy. It's good information. But yeah, so let me know what you think of this. This is I know it's such a weird way to read cards, and it's not your typical oracle spreads or not your typical tarot spreads, but this has worked for me for so long. This has just been, I don't know, this has been my fallback and what I've used for a long, long time. And then I carry these cards with me everywhere I go. Somebody wants a reading and I don't have anything else with me, I can just pull these cards out of my purse and boom, off we go. I can give them a quick reading. And these are new. I haven't, my old set I had given to my daughter so she could use them and start working with them, because I think they're calling to her. But I still have to get my energy into these. But this is just, this is my absolute favorite way to read cards. But let me know what you think down below. Leave me a comment, share, subscribe, all that fun, jazzy stuff that I guess I'm supposed to say at the end of videos. But yeah, I hope you implement this. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned a little bit. I'll be back for one more video to discuss combinations. But thank you so much for being here with me. I greatly appreciate it. And bye.